My ADHD used to be very strong, like to the point where during class I just couldn't sit still. I remember one time I literally stood up from my desk, got on the floor and started doing some goofy shit like worm dancing. I would be getting punished every single day and the teacher would write like the little note to send to my parents that I'm misbehaving at school. And still, for some reason, I ended up passing everything without really a struggle. I was really kind of smart and picked up things quickly when I really wanted to do it. Recently, I realized why that was the case, and I just summed up the methods that I kind of used, maybe subconsciously, maybe consciously, and now I begin to realize that it's correlated with ADHD. So, in this video, I want to share a couple methods with you and kind of mindset shifts for why ADHD is actually helpful when you're learning a different language, how to use it, because it can be a distraction, but if used properly, it should help you more than kind of damage your language learning journey. So if you're learning Japanese or like any other language, one of the most difficult things to overcome is this little thing called tolerating ambiguity. So what that is it basically means that you watch stuff which you don't understand anything of, and somehow you're supposed to sit here, enjoy it, and do it a couple hours every single day. Because then you'll be fluent, right? So supposedly it's this very bad thing, it's very difficult, very daunting kind of this big challenge, right? But let me ask you this, is it really that you don't understand stuff, that you get distracted, that you just go and watch something else, that you go on your phone while you're trying to study Japanese? Or is it that the content you watch is simply not interesting enough? Like, think about it. At school, let's say during a history class, you could understand everything perfectly, but you still would not give a fuck about the class, right? You'd still get distracted on your phone, start fidgeting with your pen, talking to other students. So it's not that you don't understand the content that you're watching, it's more so that the content you do watch is too damn boring. You have this superpower where you really are into something. Maybe when you were a kid it was like some kind of a sport or doing maths. Maybe for some reason you liked maths more than like history. You could really get lost in the endeavor. Like I have a lot of memories where if I actually sat down and like did my math homework, it became kind of fun. I would forget about everything else. I didn't really like it that much, but I could be focused on it, and this just led up to me studying a lot more than other students, or maybe not a lot more in the sense of time spent, but more focused and more effectively. So if you're like here with ADHD, you feel like that's the reason why you can't learn a different language, you just keep on getting distracted. Stop fucking sitting here and telling yourself, oh, why do I get distracted, man? Like, that's kind of fucking retarded, if you ask me. It's like, let's say you go and take a cold plunge, like you go do an ice bath, and you sit there and say like, oh, why is this water cold? Like, that's the way it is. If you have ADHD, then you get distracted. But also, you get extremely focused on other things. So there is a benefit to an ice bath. You don't sit there and fucking tell yourself, oh man, why is the water so cold? You think about the benefit that you have. You reframe your mind and think, alright, I'm gonna have elevated dopamine levels, I'm gonna be healthy. Like my cardiovascular health is gonna be better, I'm gonna feel great afterwards. So don't sit here and beat yourself up because you don't understand Japanese or because you get distracted. Just think about what's the benefit, what's the advantage that you do have. And the advantage is that when you do find the content which is interesting for you, you're gonna be able to immerse for a much way fucking longer time than anybody else. For that, what you wanna do is really kind of craft the perfect YouTube homepage, where it doesn't necessarily need to be about stuff that you are interested in, that you normally watch in English, but it could be that somebody's way of speech made the topic interesting. So don't limit yourself to kind of searching up, translating a word to Japanese and looking up the videos about the topic that's interesting to you. Look around and watch different YouTubers. It'll just be fun for you to watch them, and you'll be able to spend long hours and actually acquire a lot of language. But here's what most people get wrong about this. They spend too much time trying to find the perfect YouTube video, trying to find the perfect person to watch, the perfect kind of language model. Alright, maybe you want to learn a dialect in Japanese, or like you want to learn Colombian Spanish, or like Puerto Rican. And then, because you have ADHD, you kind of obsess over finding that particular kind of content. And so you cannot even enjoy watching stuff which is, like, quite frankly, really interesting to you, because you have this thing at the back of your head that, alright, I should be watching like Kansai Ben, I should be watching this dialect in Japanese, and I would learn more, right? It would be better for me, right? No, because if you're already watching something, just enjoy the moment, like, for fuck's sake. I messed this up so much, like, I tend to just obsess over finding the perfect YouTube video, and I don't even enjoy watching the video that I'm spending time immersed in, and I distract myself unnecessarily. So in my opinion, like, of course, try to find the perfect content, try to find like the kind of speech avatar that you want to mimic, but don't make it so that you cannot even enjoy your favorite YouTuber or your favorite anime because they speak a different unnaturally or some shit like that. You're immersing, that's the most important thing, and when that's checked off, you don't need to worry about different stuff. By the way, the first link in the description is my language community. I made it for people like me, kind of ADHD, really obsessed with like Japanese, Japan, or a different language. It could also work for you because like learning a language is kind of the same across different languages. I made this really to be the community that I needed when I first started learning Japanese. So I put out like just everything that I could think of. I give you my personal help so that you don't really waste time, because I feel like that's the worst thing you can do, learning a different language. I feel like most people, language schools and shit like that, they don't even know how to teach a language. Like, how crazy is that? Most people kind of teach you grammar and stuff like that, and whenever you like cannot focus during a class, it's like it's your job to figure it out. But I've been through it, I've wasted time, and I've found a solution. So now I share these things and I want to offer personal help because I feel like that's kind of my duty, right? It feels unnatural for me to kind of not help a different person. I see somebody wasting time learning effectively, they get distracted, they can't immerse, they waste time doing like pointless stuff. Like, I just want to kind of help them, get them out of the oblivion and really just get on the right track. So that's what I will do in my language community. I will create a personal game plan for learning a language for you, and just work with you through the whole process whenever you encounter a new difficulty, like, alright, how do I immerse passively, like driving to school, or like how do I maximize my immersion throughout the day, how do I not get distracted? I fix all these things for you. So again, first into the description, really just go and give it a look. I feel like a big advantage and kind of just a thing to really uplift you, make you feel better about learning a language with ADHD, is that if you're anything like me, you will never quit it. You're obsessed to the point where you will study it until you reach that fluency. It just becomes a part of your identity. And so right now, think about it. You will be fluent eventually, right? You know the process, you know to just be immersing, to do comprehensible input, maybe to sentence mine, anti-reviews. And it's just the matter of kind of leveraging your ADHD to help you and speed up that process. So there's a bunch of tactics, productivity tactics that you can use to go from learning Japanese as a fact, but it taking you 3, 4, 5, 10 years because you get distracted, you can't focus on the video you're watching. Take that process, leverage your ADHD, so use kind of the qualities of an ADHD brain to speed that process up, because you have the potential to kind of learn Japanese in a year to the point where you can comfortably speak in Japan, really make friends, speak to people IRL, make content maybe in Japanese. And like if you're into anime, like you'll watch episodes no problem and understand everything. So if I would just completely off the top of my head right now, something which is so just natural to me right now, of the tactics that help me kind of overcome my ADHD or to use it effectively, it is food, in my opinion. Not eating, especially being fasted, makes my brain work super well. Like if I would be able to just not eat for the whole day, which is kind of unhealthy, of course. I'm not that skinny, right? But of course I could be bulkier. I just don't like to eat because it slows my brain. Especially if you're like eating shit food, like carbs, like sugar, stuff like that. It's pretty unhealthy and really makes your ADHD strong. So if you could, I would recommend to you to eat something healthy like eggs, like meat, maybe fruit, or like some protein and fat, stuff like that. At least when you're emerging. Later in the day, alright, like eat your rice, potatoes, stuff like that. But when you're emerging, let's say you do it first thing of the day, I would really kind of, it would be really beneficial to just go at it fasted. Maybe that's a little bit of like caffeine or nicotine. Maybe not nicotine, but caffeine especially makes you focus even better. And you'd be surprised to find that you can focus amazingly. Like it will take time to really get accustomed to it. Of course, maybe not the first day. Even when I eat a lot of unhealthy food, I can't focus the next day or a couple days after that. You need to get into this routine of eating healthy and fasting in the mornings, and you will see amazing benefits. And then you will notice when you eventually eat something unhealthy, like just how bad your focus gets. You could be watching something that's like so interesting. It's like the content you watch usually, which puts you into a flow state, but you just cannot like comprehend what's going on. You keep on getting distracted, going on your phone, Instagram, oh, did that person text me back, some shit like that. Just pointless. You'll be healthier, you'll get better results, and you'll learn more about yourself, about what food does to your body. So that's like a win-win in kind of every single way possible. Eating healthy is not really spoken about in the language learning space, which I don't know why. It's like one of the biggest things that like correlates to how well you can actually study. But apart from that, of course, things like just getting distracted, like having a TikTok fried brain, or just bullshit on your mind, constant overthinking, playing video games and like trying to learn languages during that time, like passive listening whilst you're doing like math homework or some shit like that. You cannot do everything at once. It's like, let's imagine your perfect flow state learning Japanese as a river. So the river is flowing, it can perfectly flow, the water is going through the valleys, and you feel amazing, you feel like you're learning, you don't think about anything else. But if you like dropped a bunch of big stones in the river, and the stones are like the distractions, so unhealthy food, so like scrolling on your phone, really playing video games and stimulating yourself too much, not sleeping well, just bullshit on your mind. It's like you drop a bunch of these stones into the river and it changes its course, it like splits into a bunch of different streams and they go different ways and the river doesn't reach its destination. It like floods a nearby village or some shit, right? You want to get rid of those stones so the river of your focus can flow well and can actually give you the results that you want in terms of language learning. You'll just feel better. I really don't know why more people don't kind of speak about this stuff, your health, your focus, your productivity, learning a different language. They only focus on this surface level advice, like how to learn Japanese. I'm not really all about that shit, if I'm being honest. It's like you can watch one or two of these videos, you pretty much figured everything out, but who's gonna teach you, like kind of help you when you get stuck? Or you know what you have to do, but either you cannot get yourself to do the thing, or just when you actually do the thing, you feel like shit, you get distracted, you start doubting yourself. I want to help you with that, and if you've watched till the end of this video, you're kind of advanced and you really care about not only just knowing how to learn a language, but living a great life whilst doing so. First link in the description is my community, advanced stuff there, really just spitting language learning gems every single day. Go and take a look. See ya.